Hello, and welcome to day 7 of 12 Days of Biohacking Gifts. Today is all about skin. This company is one of my favorite skin companies that are currently out there, and they are called Forest Spa Finland. So they have 2 different products. So we're going to get all into that in the interview today. The first product they came out with is a supplement, and this is a adaptogen supplement, meaning that they're targeting your reaction to stress and how to lower your stress, which then helps you have healthier skin. So I love this because it's really looking at healing your skin through the root cause, through a completely different way than a lot of people look at it. So these are adaptogens. I take these every single morning. I take 2 in the morning and feel great. And they actually really do help with my stress management. And it kind of just helped me to feel more grounded. The second product that they came out with is their serum. So the approach with this is kind of like an inside out approach. You take the supplement and you also put this on your face on top, like topically, to also get the benefits. This smells amazing. It literally smells like the Nordic forest. And I love using this. It's also an adaptogen serum as well. So you can win both of these. They are featured in the giveaway for today, which is now live on my Instagram account at biohackingbrittany. Go ahead, check it out. The giveaway is live for 7 days. And I really, really encourage you to enter for this one. If you know somebody who has skin issues, who has really been struggling with skin trouble for a long time, whether it's like acne, rosacea, early aging, spots, anything like that, or like somebody who's actually just pretty stressed out, I would suggest that you try this supplement. Also send it to them and obviously enter the giveaway. So you can do that below. I will link it in the description and it will be in the show notes and it's kind of everywhere. So go ahead and enter, and I will also put the link to their products and my discount code if you want to buy this for yourself or for a loved one this holiday season. And stay tuned tomorrow for day 8. Okay, welcome to another day of 12 Days of Biohacking Gifts. Today we are talking all things skin, but not just topically. We're also talking about skin from the inside out, supplements, stress, adaptogens, all of those good things. So we have Daniel Collins on the show today. So welcome, Daniel.
Thank you, Brittany. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So when I first started using your products last year, I started with your Nordic adaptogen supplement,
Yes.
which I love because I love taking adaptogens in the first place. I think they're great for stress and like kind of balancing out hormones. But I really loved how you created this to actually help our skin through targeting stress. And that was like the first time I've ever seen somebody actually take such like a root cause approach to skincare like that. So why did you first, or how did you even come up with this concept in the first place?
Yeah, great. And I'm glad that you're enjoying them. We get such great feedback on how they really do help people with their skin. So to give you the backstory, essentially, I've worked with big beauty brands and, in the industry for a lot of years. And actually, when I came to the point of wanting to create a skincare brand, it was always a little thing in my head that one day that was going to be something that I would do in my life. When I came to start the journey, it was interesting because I was helping a friend with their supplement brand, just doing some work with them. And I was learning a lot I started to learn about adaptogens and about how they help with stress in the body. And it was really fascinating for me just to learn about where so much of what happens in the way that we are and our well-being starts on the inside, triggered by stress, triggered by hormones, lack of sleep, daily commute, all those things adding up. And the impact that it has on your body, it just kind of clicked together for me that actually this is really impacting people's skin. And, I've spent years and years teaching people and talking to customers about skin and, how to fix it. And, if you've got breakouts, maybe it's this, maybe your skin's a little too oily, or maybe it's something that you're using that's causing you to have sensitivity. And when you look deeper, all of these things are rooted within you. So for me, that was where to start. When we were really concepting the brand, I thought, okay, I need to start to really try and help to educate people that you can spend a lot of time and a lot of money trying to fix the skin on the outside. And actually, it never goes deep enough to what the root cause is. And that's why I wanted to start with supplements as our first product in the brand.
Yeah, I love that. So what do you typically see if somebody is overstressed, like how would that show up in the skin for somebody?
There's a lot of different reactions, and actually, I think that people are quite surprised when I tell them that there are so many different kind of impacts that you can see physically on the skin, and it can be everything. I mean, the one that we all know and live through at some point in our lives is acne. As soon as you hit a point in your life that hormones start to kick in, when you're younger and when you're older, perimenopausal, and that kind of period where there's a lot of changes happening. Acne is one of the key triggers. So we see that as a big one. But even things like just daily, just dryness or irritation in the skin, those hormones and that stress, the cortisol that's produced in your body when you have these kind of waves of things going on, that causes reactions. So you can see discolorations come up in the skin, dark spots, uneven skin tone. But there's a lot of things. And the big sweetener, the big one that we all love the most, is aging, accelerated aging on the skin. We all think, well, we age naturally. And guess what? We do age naturally. But when you go through some tough periods in your life, or you just have a lot of daily stress, that's when you can look in the mirror and say, oh, I really can see this is taking a toll on me and not in a good way. That's accelerating aging for you. So, I think that there's a lot of ways it can show up, and it's different on different people. I think a lot of people have different kind of things happening at different times, but you can see any or all of those happening in the skin, even sensitivity. So many people say to you, well, I've got redness, I get flare-ups, bit of sensitivity. I think it's what I eat, or I think it's I've been drinking alcohol, or I've been super stressed. And all of those things can trigger that in the skin. But equally, you can do a lot to actually prevent that from happening in the first place.
Yeah, that's so interesting. For me, I think it shows up in like red bumps, and they're like dry and patchy, but it's not like acne. It's not like the bumps have like a head, and it's always along like my cheeks.
The cheeks,
and that's when I know that I have like too much heat in the body, too much cortisol, too much stress, and not enough like feeling grounded, feeling rooted in myself.
Exactly.
And it's really interesting how it can show up for different people. And I think it's normal though. Like, I think it's normal to have like stressful periods in our life. I think it's like you said, like when it's happening day in and day out for months, for years, that's when it leads to like aging faster and like more serious things that we don't want. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So when you started your skincare journey, like I know it was, you were working for other brands at the time.
Yeah.
Were you always into more natural skincare solutions, or was there a journey there as well?
Yeah, I think I have always been fascinated by, I've been in the industry for a long time, so I've seen things change a lot. I've seen innovations, I've seen star ingredients that are suddenly the thing that everybody has to have in their products. I've always been really interested in the product side. And I spend a lot of my time working in education and teaching people. So for me, it's also, I've really looked at how people's skins have changed in time as well. The world has become more stressful for all of us. We've had a pandemic to live through. Suddenly, I think a lot of people have seen a lot of changes in their environment and their own personal well-being. So as I've gone through that journey, I think I've really looked along the way and said, okay, so, you can have all of these ingredients that a lot of brands come out with, these super funky technologies and these all sorts of things that there's a lot of great marketing behind it. And there's a lot of great products out there. I don't deny that at all. But actually, when I was really looking at ingredients, going the more natural route seemed like the right thing for me. We're also much more focused on the environment. We want to do good things. We want to make good choices about what we buy, where it comes from. Is it sustainable? Is it good for me? So I think as the consumer has changed, I think our kind of products need to change to go with the kind of needs of the consumer, but also just getting the right things, having ingredients that are going to do good, not having ingredients in there that are fillers, just there for the sake of filling a product and making it, a good price for people, but actually just really sourcing good things that actually make a difference. So I think that journey for me there's been a lot of learning, but I think I've picked up a lot about what consumers and customers really want and how they want their skin to be. People just want their skin to be its best. They don't really believe that a miracle is going to happen when they put something on. But how do you make your skin its best, and what are the right things to get you there? I think that's the story.
Yeah. Honestly, I find it really difficult to navigate the skincare industry in general.
So much out there.
There's so much out there. And like, of course, I try to use as natural as possible. But there's also so much marketing out there that talks about like active ingredients, like things like retinol. And it's kind of confusing because at the end of the day, even as somebody who's like a conscious consumer, I'm not sure what I should be using and what I shouldn't be using.
Yep.
And then also it's just like, you buy so many things and you have to use it for what, a minimum of 3 months to see any results. And like, I think it's just overwhelming for people at this point. You know?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And that actually leads us very nicely into a lot about why I created our Nordic adaptogen serum. Because I agree with you. I think people are overwhelmed by choices. You can go to skincare brands today and there can be 100 things to choose from and a lot of different opinions. And we also listen to a lot of YouTube and a lot of stories and a lot of people telling stories that might be things that work for them, but doesn't necessarily mean they're the right thing for you. So we do have to educate ourselves to make good choices.
Yeah.
But interestingly, that was when I was going on this journey with products that I was developing. I wanted to create products that could take a lot of that guesswork out of the equation for people. I don't ever want to show people 20 products and say, well, these all do amazing things for you. You should use them all. Yep. I don't think people want that anymore. I think people want simple solutions that have quality things that can help them. And they don't want to have to use 100 things. And that's a lot about where I chose the natural route and the adaptogens because they're so effective at actually helping so many skin concerns and so many problems that people see in their skin. So yeah, hopefully I've helped to take some of the guesswork away for people, but we'll talk more about when we get into the product.
Yeah. Actually, I think it might have been yesterday. I just saw an article about skin minimalism.
Minimalism. Such a good thing.
You know, like let's take the 20-step nighttime routine and take it down to 2.
Absolutely.
I really like that because again, there's so many things. Am I using them in the right order? Yeah. And then if I have a skin flare up or say a new symptom come up, I look at the 20 products I'm using and I'm like, okay, I don't know which one it was. But your body's like, okay, I can't even keep up with all of these things, you know? Yeah. So again, it's interesting that you created something that was looking at the root cause, right?
Yes.
Stress is causing these skin conditions in people. So obviously we can take these supplements as an adaptogen blend and be like, okay, let's get the benefits from the inside. But now, you know, you've created your Nordic adaptogen serum, which also targets it on the outside. So when you sent this to me, I was really excited because first of all, it smells nice.
So good. Yeah.
It's like a forest.
I will tell you the story about that.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me the story. I want to hear.
Well, actually, the scent was the kind of piece for me. Obviously, I'm not a Finnish person, but I'm married to a Finnish person. We spend, I've spent the last 25 years of my life having beautiful holidays and time up there with our friends and family. But one of the things I wanted to capture in my products, and this was a big thing about our brand, it's about that play. I wanted to bring a little bit of that rejuvenation that I used to experience in my busy, stressed life, traveling for my job. We would land in Finland. We would be at the summer house we have a beautiful family wooden cabin by the lake with a sauna on the lake. And you just sit there in the middle of the forest and everything just disappears. I mean, you just are transformed after even just a night there. It's such a simple thing. But actually, a lot of the brand, I wanted to bring a little bit of that into people's daily lives. So not only the ingredients, which are all sourced from up there, but really that, the smell is a very, very big thing. Yeah. So I met this amazing woman in Finland. She is like Finland's aromatherapy guru. She is the queen of aromatherapy. Her name is Ulla-Maja. She's a fantastic person. And I met with her and I said to her, I really need your help because I want people to really get a sense of what it's like to be forest bathing in northern Finland by a lake, to get that rejuvenation, that uplifted feel. So she went away, she came back and she said, I think I've got it for you. And she told me the story. She's like, I remember when I was a little girl, And I'd go to my parents' summer house, and in the middle of summer, and the smell of the resin of the pine needles when the sun hits them and all of that. She's an amazing person. But she created the scent for us. And I think she did such an amazing job. And it's quite unexpected. You know, a lot of people say to me, wow, when I smell it, it's not what I expected, but it definitely transports me to the forest just for a little moment in my day. So I think it's such a special part of the product.
It is. And I think that if you come out with candles, I will buy them.
Don't worry, it's on the list.
Every time I smell it, I'm like, I just want this in a candle beside me while I'm working.
Exactly.
Because
there's more to come on that.
Because again, like we're getting back to let's reduce stress to help the skin. And like aromatherapy and scents is actually a big part of that because it makes you feel good and grounded and like
absolutely,
you know, not as go and charged as we always are.
Exactly. Even if for that few seconds when you first put it on in the morning, you know, hopefully that just gives a nice little boost to people. So that was definitely part of the intention.
Amazing. So the other ingredients in it, I was looking at them and I was really curious, like how you decided like which adaptogens and which plants to include.
Yeah, so definitely the adaptogen complex that we put together, I really, really spent a lot of time researching plants that come from that region because I thought if we're going to have a really amazing finished experience for people, I want it to be local. And I looked at a few of them, and actually some of them are things that are found in foods that, you know, in Finland as well. So they can be things that you'll find in juices, definitely in the supplements. We use bilberry, which is a wild berry that grows native to that part of the world. The other one the one that I love, I think my favorite ingredient in the serum is cloudberry extract. And cloudberry is this very bright orange, really unusual berry that only grows in kind of the quite wet, like lakey, kind of swampy parts of northern Lapland. So the berries have to be hand-picked. You can't grow them like you couldn't grow them anywhere else. They grow in that environment. They're very, you know, unique to that part of the world. They have to be handpicked, and they only come out for a few weeks of the year. So it's kind of a very busy season for collecting them up. But they're used in foods and fruits. And when you eat them, they're very sour to taste, but quite amazing, like an unusual sort of a taste. But actually on the skin, they are so good for sensitivity in the skin and for helping to soothe and to brighten. It's one of the richest natural sources of vitamin C that you can get. So using it topically, you get that brightening immediately in the skin as the adaptogens work to calm and to desensitize, and with an anti-inflammatory kind of approach as well. So that's why it kind of ticks so many boxes. So that for me was one of the biggest ones that I needed to have. The other one is rhodiola rosea, which is known, you know, from in a lot of different products and things, but actually I wanted to have that as part of our inside and out approach to skin wellness. So it's in the supplements and it's in the serum as well. So you get it to help to stabilize with your kind of stress impact on the body, but actually it's a really, really nice kind of extract on the skin to help with things like scarring. It can help with kind of desensitizing the skin as well and gives a lot of energy to the skin cells. So they all have a lot of uses. And that's why I really wanted to pick adaptogens that are multi-use, that can really do a lot on the skin and all geared towards anti-inflammatory, anti-stress and calming the skin as well as brightening. So you kind of get that dual effect.
Yeah.
The other one I love is sea buckthorn oil. And this is another one of my favorites. Again, you can have it as a juice, you can drink it, but it's also really, really good for helping with, it's got lots of different vitamins in there. It's got some natural things that can help with discolorations as well. And this is like going back to when I said to you, I want a bit of a one-shot fits all kind of approach with the product. So using things that have different uses in the skin, but will not overload or react on the skin because they all desensitize as well. So was kind of finding that balance of the right ones and then pulling together to be an adaptogenic complex. So that's one part.
Yeah.
There's still another part as well, which are the boosters. Yeah. So, just to carry on. So I really wanted adaptogens to work in the skin over time. So if you use them all the time, you get a benefit, and they all have great benefits in the skin. At the same time, I wanted to have something that people get a quick result from, because like you said, nobody wants to use something for 3 months to wait for it to work. So actually, I put some special boosters in there that can help to give you the immediate brightening and the quick results. So I used some really, really nice natural AHAs. And then I also used a base of the product. Rather than water as a base, which most brands would do, I use birch sap from the birch tree. And that has a lot of minerals and things that give a very, very good brightening. That's why when you put it on, you get that instant kind of a good feeling on the skin. A lot of people say it feels a little bit firming and really hydrating when you first use it. So we use that and also some spruce knots. So there's a lot of ingredients in there, but all naturals. It's 97% natural ingredients.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. That is really impressive. Like you can just tell that you and your team like put so much thought behind every single ingredient in it.
We really did.
Yeah.
We really, really did. So we're super proud of it. We really love it.
Yeah. And so for the AHA, I think it's interesting that you said that you use a natural AHA because I have a face mask that I use that has AHA in it. And it's really great because it gets rid of like dead skin on my face and it's like really brightening. But I'm curious what ingredient you use that's natural that has AHA in it.
Yeah, it's the lactic acid. That was the kind of main one that we used. The lactic acid for me, it's always been an ingredient that I really, I'm fascinated with. But it's vegan, it comes from natural source. But the great thing about it is it's one of those acids that won't just exfoliate on the surface of the skin. It actually kind of goes quite pore deep. And there's a bit of a personal reason in that one for me. I have had open pores and blackheads my whole life. It's one of those things that I've been like, I've never managed to get on top of them. And it's really been a bane of my skincare routine forever. But actually, lactic acid is the one thing that really, really worked. It just seems to get into a pore and help to really unblock. And I can tell you the difference in how my skin is today to how it was 3 years ago before I first started tinkering with this product. It's amazing. It really is an unbelievable change for me. So it's a very special little ingredient which I put in there on purpose.
I love that. I love that. That's really cool. So because it has like brightening, ingredients in it and things that kind of are not like, it's not a peel, obviously, but it is like helping.
It's quite mild.
Yeah, it's helping rejuvenate the skin. Do you recommend people use it like once a day, twice a day, or like how gentle is it? Really?
It's very safe for twice a day. And I mean, I have quite a sensitive skin. I'm very sun reactive. So, but twice a day is absolutely safe to use. What I would say is if you are a very fair person or if you were living in a very warm and sunny climate, I would apply a sunscreen in the day and it's totally fine.
Cool. I love that. And
otherwise, you could just use it at night. That would be your other option. If you weren't planning to use a sunscreen in the day, you could just skip it and apply at nighttime.
Yeah. And then just still get the benefits, I guess.
Absolutely.
Over time.
Yeah. But it's hard not to use it twice a day. So I put the sunscreen.
Yeah. And do you use it, I guess, because it's a serum, you use it before oils or moisturizers or anything like that?
Yeah. So this is an interesting thing. When I created this product, and again, I was going back in my mind, I did not want people to have to use too many things. So my intention was you could almost use it on its own. And I wanted it to be something that you could put it on and just say to yourself, I'll add some moisturizer if I feel I need it. So that's kind of the intention with it. And I find with my skin, I'm kind of a normal skin. I can get a little bit dry. Through the summer, I can use it on its own and it feels like enough to me. In the winter, I would add a moisturizer because obviously it's drier and you just need it's a lot of work for one product to be able to really moisturize as well as all those other things. So I just put a moisturizer with it and I have oils. I love oils. It's, one of my favorite textures to use, but I just keep one and I just apply it when I feel like I need it. And to be fair, these days, it's not often, maybe once or twice a week. I'll add a bit of oil if I feel like I need a bit of an extra boost. But I go with how my skin feels. If my skin is feeling good and, using the supplements and the serum together, I feel like it does pretty much everything I need, except I just add a bit of moisture, a little bit of eye cream when you need it as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit of skin minimalism.
Yes, I love that. I really do love that. Like right now we're just getting into winter. And so like the heat is turned on and stuff. So I'm much more dry than normal. So I like using oil as well. But like you said, I think you can just use this on its own, or you can add a little moisturizer or oil afterwards and just like really let it soak in and then you're good to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. I always think just see how your skin feels on the day. I don't use the same things every day. I just kind of keep my little medicine cabinet quite simple, but I've got kind of 2 or 3 things and I just add as often and how much you need. Some days you need more moisturizer than other days. You can just put a tiny bit, or sometimes I'll put a double, amount if it's, feeling like I need it.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm super curious what you have coming down the pipeline. I know you probably can't share everything, but what is coming up for 2023 for you?
Yeah, well, we've got a few things in the pipeline, actually. I mean, we have just launched our serum, honestly, in the last month. So it's very, very new for us as well. We're going to be focusing on really sharing the story of using the two products together, because that is really the hero. That's going to be the Forest Spa Finland kind of, hero system to use. But we also do want to do some accessory products. So we've got 2 or 3 other things that are almost ready to go. I say almost with trepidation, but the products are developed. We're just kind of getting to the point of being able to release them. But we're actually working with some really good partners and looking to be in a lot more retailers very soon.
Wow.
So you'll see the products a little bit more closer to home soon, not just online. And then we'll start to launch some other nice things. But we've got some interesting things. I think going back to the whole story about the scent, I've got some really good ideas on what I'd love to do with that next, and I think would go really well. I think this whole concept of forest bathing, I think, speaks to people, because we don't all have access to nature every day.
Yeah.
And actually, if you can have a little product that makes you feel like you're just getting the 5 minutes or longer, little moments that make you feel like you're in a beautiful natural environment, that takes down the stress, it lifts the mood, and I feel like that's something I want to explore a lot more with the brand as well.
I love that. Like we've talked about, I just think anything we can do that's natural to reduce our stress, I think we should try and do it.
Makes sense. It's what we need.
Yeah, it is really what we need. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Our giveaway is now live. It's on my Instagram. If you are keen to try this yourself, you can enter. The details are on the post. And thank you so much, Daniel, for coming on.
Thank you, Brittany. Speak soon. Take care.